Do 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 do. A little turbulence today. Just flying down the California coast, Northern California, and we're headed down. I don't know, maybe we'll fly down to LA or something. But I'm not trying to go super high. I don't know. Let's go a little bit higher up though. Maybe 10 to 15,000 feet. And the newest update to Airshow Assistant, at least the newest update for me, I haven't been flying for a while, has the Wingmen. Now you can lock them to the horizon, so you can do this without them losing their minds and flying all over you and hitting your plane. So you can, they will follow, they'll try to stay on the horizon and not fly like around or above you and screw it up when you're doing maneuvers. So that's cool, and that's definitely helpful when you're flying with the Wingman. Other than that, I haven't really messed around too much with Airshow Assistant. The smoke and the flames and the what we call it, countermeasures and all that, the flares they're cool, but you know, whatever. Not really interested. I think this is the best feature of Airshow Assistant, is having a wingman or a bunch of wingmen or a squadron of planes flying with you. Actually, yeah, let's throw on a couple more planes just because now hopefully they won't be flying all into me. Let's do 3 more or 2 more. There they are. And then we can we'll give him a Old Yeller. Oh, they have a civilian one, yeah. Whoa. Let's try this guy. Yeah, there you go. We'll do a couple of those. And hopefully, yeah, they're not trying to like all fly with, or their maneuvers don't go above and below you like they used to. So that's good. But you have to set it in this. Let's see, right here. This is what I'm talking about. This new. So if you unclick that, and then you try to do a maneuver, they get all wonky. Especially when you're doing this, see what I mean? Like they get all weird. But if you lock them to the horizon, like so, we can do this. So they don't get all freaking passing into your aircraft and causing a fatal crash is what would happen. Oh, that's cool. You guys were right. Although, yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, clearly, but it's a lot better than it used to be. Anyway, I think hopefully the sound is coming through and my voice. I don't know if I changed a couple of settings, but I'm pretty sure. Let me just check on OBS. Yeah, it seems like everything's running okay. And we are continuing our southbound. Oh, we're going north now. No, we're not. We're going south. Yeah, we're going south. Continuing our southbound coastal run. Don't know where we're headed so much. We're just sort of just flying. I haven't really flown around too much in Microsoft Flight Sim in a while, but for various reasons, but not because of anything other than been playing other stuff, that's all. But there is nothing like flying around in VR with a couple of wingmen. What are we doing on fuel here? 13 gallons on that tank, and I have a couple extra tanks to go to if I need to. Anyway, I can't really see chat unless I jump out or take a peek. So if you're leaving a comment, I will see it sooner or later, but I won't be able to see it immediately. I don't have a chat box up in VR. I used to use Open Kneeboard, but it would crash under DirectX 12 all the time, so I'm not willing to go back to DirectX 11 because the performance and the image quality and everything is just not as good, especially for streaming. You know, for 40 series cards, you should really be on DirectX 12. For anything under a 40 series, or even maybe a 4060 even, if you have one of those, and I would probably stay on DirectX 11, but for, you know, 4070s and up, I think the best thing to do is DirectX 12 for VR. But then again, I can only speak from my own experiences, and the Reverb G2, which a lot of people have moved on from already because they got so scared of 24H2. And I am, like, honestly, it's not a huge big deal if I'm not on the current Windows and from what I hear, also the current Windows is just, like, buggy as fuck. I'm like, why would I need it? I just basically set Windows Update to not update to anything that will change my version of Windows. So 23H2 is, if it changes that, then it won't update. But anything else, security updates and all of those, I've been continuing to get cumulative updates and security updates, no problem. But when 24H2 came around, my computer just said, nope, no thank you. And it was fine. So I could still use my G2. Hopefully Microsoft won't force us to upgrade past that for a while. I mean, eventually it'll happen. But from all accounts, you know, and from what I've gathered, it's all going to be happening around a year or two, a year and a half from now. So I'm not going to worry about it. I love my G2. It works great. I have great performance, as you can see. I mean, I've got great visuals. Yeah, the lenses are Fresnel lenses, and there's distortion when you look, if you're not looking straight ahead. But, you know, every now and again, that's what VR is for, man. You're turning your head, you're moving your head around. I mean, I'm not going to be bothered if out of the corner of my eye I can't see or it's a little blurry. It's not that bad. You know, especially since I'm running at a fairly high resolution. I mean, honestly, I'm running at around 3600 pixels or 3600 by 3570 something, and you know, that's about 27 pixels per inch around there. And it's beautiful. You know, like I cannot complain about the visual quality. Like you get a little Mura here and there, you get some God rays here and there, depending on, you know, the lighting situation. But dude, I'm not spending 15, 1700 bucks or even another 800 bucks on another headset that is going to give me, yeah, sure, slightly better image quality, slightly higher resolution, maybe, and the performance will be much similar. It's not gonna. Is it worth me spending another 700 bucks? No, not even close. Especially when I'm getting fantastic performance and fantastic visuals from my current setup. I might upgrade my RAM to 64 gigs when 2024 comes out, but outside of that, I'm not really all that bothered. Not bothered whatsoever. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna active pause for a second here and just check my stream on YouTube. I just want to see if everything is, if all the sound and everything is coming through okay. Because again, I did change a couple settings on Discord and OBS. Oh yeah, everything's working. Alright, cool. And what's up, y'all? Alright. Now back, returning to bullet already in progress. Yeah, so again, not really bothered about, you know, having the best of the best of the best all the time. It's not sustainable. One, there's always going to be something better around the corner, and if you are comfortable with that, and if you're comfortable with, you know, not being not having FOMO syndrome, you know, fear of missing out, like it's, you know, you have a great experience with the G2. Everybody dropped their G2s and they're like, it's not going to be supported, and everybody's still bitching about it. And it's like, I'm using it right now. Right this very second. It's 24H2 is out. I didn't download it, and I'm still able to enjoy VR on all my favorite games and with my current setup. And I'm not being forced to download 24H2 yet, so I won't. And my computer is still secure, still getting security updates, still getting updates from Microsoft for 23H2, and everything is fine, absolutely fine. And I'm not dealing with all the bugs of 24H2 right now, which, you know, I heard are considerable. We're doing great. I mean, I don't know why everybody like lost. I mean, yeah, am I upset that they're ending support for it? Yes, of course. Was I pissed off? Yeah, I was a little pissed off. But then when I found out you don't have to update right away, and you don't have to update, you know, if you get the message, you know, just set your computer not to update it. I mean, I think it was called an event planner I used that is part of Windows, and you can just tell Windows Update if there's an update that changes your version number, not to update it, not to download it, not to update it. Don't do anything. Just get cumulative updates and just get security updates, and you'll be fine. Absolutely fine. Your life will not be any different than if you decided to download 24H2, other than the fact that your G2 won't work anymore. You know what I mean? It will be exactly the same. And I downloaded all the other updates for Windows. Oh, will I make it through here? Oh my God, no, I won't. That was dumb. We'll just cheat and use the slew here. Let's get a little altitude while we're at it. I'll pick up enough speed before I hit the ground. Alright, yeah, so, again, there are my boys. Why does one of them have his wheels down? I mean, I am on stream, so the quality isn't going to be nearly what I see through the headset. It's only a 1080p stream, but it's not going to be, you know, what I'm looking at. Or even what's going on my mirror, because my streaming software, I think it's I think I ran out of gas right there. I probably should. Oh yeah, so this is a little bug. Anytime I have to wake up my mouse, the whole sim freezes for that long. Sometimes less, sometimes, but if I have to wake up the mouse, it gets a little wonk. Hold on. Anyway, what was I saying? I completely forgot. Alright, you still got your wheels down? No. Alright, cool. Oh, but your propellers aren't moving. So there's that. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. It's not all that important anyway. Yeah, so I'm having a good time with my G2. I'm not pressed about replacing it with anything yet. It works well. I've spent a lot of money on cables and everything because the cable went out and I had to replace that. And I did that a couple times, but other than that, it's been working great. Yeah, I don't feel the need to have, you know, 500 more pixels and spend, you know, $500 more. It's not worth it at all. You will not see that much of a huge difference. I've used the Quest 3. Yeah, the lenses are nice. It's a good headset, for sure. Is it worth me getting it over this that I already have? No, not even close. Not even close. So I'm not. Anyway, alright, enough of that. So let's talk about 2024. Let's talk about Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. The alpha has been out. Nobody's been able to really test out VR because it's not available in the alpha, as well as helicopters, which I do fly a lot. So I wasn't really bothered by not getting the alpha and being able to test. But I've seen a couple people, Joel on Flights with Joel. I was hanging out with him for a little bit yesterday on Discord and watching his stream of the alpha. The graphics look nice. A lot of trees still. It still looks really, it doesn't look that much better than, from what I can gather. There are some nicer lighting effects. The clouds look better, for sure. Oh, there you go, your propellers are on now. But, you know, the alpha is just that. It's a tech alpha, so, you know, they're trying to iron out some whatever they need to iron out. But until that happens, I'd rather just wait a month or two when after the release to see if there are any more bugs that they're going to iron out, or VR, especially VR, because I only primarily fly in VR. I don't fly in 2D. I don't see why I should, because VR is just so much more immersive. I don't get motion sickness at all. My VR legs are strong. So yeah, there's no real reason to fly in 2D. So I'm not gonna get, probably not gonna get 2024 until the release, until after the release rather. And when people start reporting their bugs and figuring out ways to mitigate the bugs or whatever, because invariably there will be bugs. I mean, it's almost guaranteed that there will be bugs. I mean, that's part of the reason for the tech alpha, right? But that being said, yeah, I've beta tested enough for Microsoft with this simulator in the last 4 years. I don't feel like, I'm kind of over it. I don't want to just keep tweaking and twiddling. Or at the very least, I want to be able to get the flight sim when it gets to a point or a version that will have the minimal amount for me to have to tweak and figure out and troubleshoot. So I'm gonna give it some time, a month or two, or maybe not. Maybe I'll get it day one. Who knows? Maybe it'll be great. And if it is, and if all the reviews are fantastic, and if everybody's saying VR is running well and the sim is in a good state, that's when I'll get it. But I don't need to be. Ooh, a little stutter right there. But I don't need to be. I don't need to have it on day one necessarily. I mean, I may or may not. Who knows? I could be full of shit, right? No, yeah, look at that. They just flew right through me there. Uh, did I reset it back to where it should have been, or to lock on horizon? Because I might not. Yeah, I did. Okay, we'll spread these guys out a little bit more. How about that? Maybe a different flight formation. You know what? I don't really need that many. Two is fine. But again, who knows? I mean, I'm sure it's going to be great. I mean, I don't expect that it's gonna suck. I think Soba's a good developer. I think they did a great job with this sim. Although having slapped on VR was probably, at least at the very least, it's been available to us, and even slapped on second thought, VR implementation is better than no VR implementation whatsoever. But if you take a game like, Assetto Corsa, and granted it's a 10-year-old game, or 11-year-old game, or however old it is now, it's, their VR mod, because it wasn't included in the original version, they weren't even thinking about it. But when the modders and the developers implemented it, it was fantastic. It's a great VR experience. So if 2024 ends up being anything like a set of courses VR, I'll be very happy. Or at the very least, we get performance that rivals the 2D version without losing too much visual fidelity, as you do, or as you can possibly with VR, then I'll be happy. I'll be very happy with that. about we gain a little altitude here and start heading south where I should have been going. And not to insult anyone who has upgraded from their G2 and whatever, but I don't think it was all that necessary, and I don't think some of the immediate dropping of the G2 by a lot of the ownership of it was necessary. I think they kind of jumped the gun a little bit, unless they were planning on, because honestly the G2 is getting a little older. It is definitely not new anymore, but again, for how high the resolution is when it was released and how high it still continues to remain, because even the Quest 3 doesn't have as high of a resolution as the G2. I mean, it's got better lenses, yes. So the increased clarity around the periphery is better, but you still have to decode the video signal because you're using wireless to connect. Even if you are using the wire, it's still decoding it. And with an HDMI connection, you just get that raw, visual clarity. And the G2 is the king of clarity for a good long time there. So you still have some pros and cons when it comes to the Quest 3. I'm not saying it's a bad headset. I'm saying it's a great headset. But to all those people who are like, oh, the G2 is trash now, guys, get a grip. It is not. It is far from it. Far from it. It's a great headset that performs really well. And part of the reason why you hang on to certain technology is because as time goes by, it gets better. And the G2, the software has gotten steadily better. Now, they're not going to probably update it any further as far as OpenXR or anything like that. But it's gotten to a point where, it works excellently with every VR game I have. With my hardware, I have a 4080 and a 5800X 3D and a Reverb G2 with 32 gigs of RAM, and I can run anything really well at a high resolution and a high frame rate. I reach 90 frames per second native without any upscaling on any other game except for this one. This is the only game I use reprojection with. And reprojection has gotten so much better. Like, it's not as wobbly as before. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find much artifacts unless you're, rotating the camera around and stuff. Like, there are no artifacts right now. None whatsoever. So, I don't understand. And look at this approach on this airport. And granted, it's a smaller airport. But, yeah, no stuttering. No skipping. The game's in a good, pretty decent shape as far as VR compatibility, and the G2 is, it's just a workhorse, man. It doesn't have all the fancy new features like pass-through, which is cool. Like I'm not saying it's not cool. It is. Or eye tracking, which is cool. I'm not discounting the cool new features of some of the newer headsets, but at the same time, are they worth it to upgrade if you have a perfectly good running sim? The sim's running great visuals. I just don't see the need. And I don't play those Quest games, the standalone games, because they're a little infantile, and a lot of them, well, not infantile so much, but they're not they're not made for me. Let's put it that way. I play Sims. I play a lot of Sims. I think that's where VR really shines. And I have played in the past a lot of action games in VR, and they're fantastic. But mostly I play Sims. So, anyway. Yeah, I've been having a great time. I haven't jumped into Microsoft Flight Sim in a while. And I'm having a good time in it right now. It's running really well. I flew over San Francisco a few minutes back and I got great performance. It wasn't stuttery at all. I had a couple little hiccups here and there, but it was not bad. But that's the sim. That's not the the VR. It's not my headset that does that. You know what I mean? It's the sim that's doing that. And a lot of people, I want to say, not everyone, but a lot of people just didn't know how to set up their G2 correctly. They refused to go with reprojection because they couldn't set that up right. They're all looking for frames, when all you gotta really do is get 45 frames solid or 30 frames solid. Like, I'm using 1/3 reprojection right now, and it is friggin' gorgeous and smooth. I don't know what the hell people are fucking talking about, but, to each their own. You're not gonna get 90 frames a second, with current hardware out there. So, not in this game. I mean, I don't know, maybe a 7800 X3D with a 4090 and 64 gigs of RAM and blah blah blah, but I haven't seen anybody hit 90 frames a second. Like, that was solid 90, locked at 90, or 80 for the Quest 2 or 3. I don't know if they have a 90 hertz refresh rate option. I know they have like 120, 72, and 80. Maybe it's 90. I don't know. But nobody's been able to hit 90 solid and consistently. I've hit it with this headset with no reprojection, but I had to, very early on when the 4080 came out and I was doing my testing, I was able to hit 90, but I, had to turn off all the clouds and fly out into the middle of the ocean. and I was able to hit 90, and it was great, but at the same time, it's not sustainable. So for everyday flying, you need reprojection, but reprojection is so much better than it's ever been with Windows headsets. Oh, there we go, running out of gas again. This is my second to last tank, so we probably won't make it to LA. I don't even know where we are right now. We're not making it to LA. We might. Let's see. See where we are. Okay, LA's right around here, right? Oh, that's the mashed add-on. Yeah, there's LAX. I don't know, I might make it. We'll see. So I had titled this stream, "I'm not leaving my Wingman." I wonder how many people came in here and expected me to be flying an F-18 or something, or a Tomcat. And going, he's not doing any of those jets. I want to see a jet plane. Well, I don't fly jets. Sometimes, but not a lot. I mean, I don't feel like I have that sense of flight as much in a jet. Ooh, I'm getting a little stuttery action right here, though. Alright, now it's smooth. Yeah, so every now and again you get some stutters. It's just the way it is. And But, 98%, 99% of this flight has been smooth silk. Yeah, I don't get that same kind of sense of flight when I'm flying a jet. It's got too much power. You could always save yourself if you get in a little sticky situation just because you have power. But when you're in a prop plane, you're flying with wind and with the elements, and you're using momentum and you're using, physics rather than just pushing your way through the sky. You're just sort of, you're flying. It feels like you're flying anyway. It feels more like you're flying. Yeah, I don't think I'll make it to LA. I might. I don't know. Well, I should probably gain some altitude if anything. So I don't want to waste too much gas getting up there because you have to push your plane, your propellers faster to climb. Hey, look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. There's nothing wrong with the G2. Absolutely nothing. And whenever I do decide to upgrade, right now, if somebody put a gun to my head and said you have to replace your G2 with a headset, I think I would go with the big screen Beyond. It's super light, small, high res. It's got some Mura issues, but it's got pancake lenses. It's not, the field of view isn't as wide as the Pimax, but it's also like a sixth of the size. Like, that thing is just bulky. And I know it's light, and I know it's comfortable, blah, 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 but, I think I would prefer, everyone who's reviewed the Beyond, the big screen Beyond, is saying it is the most comfortable VR headset. And I wouldn't even call it a headset. They're more like glasses with a strap. They're literally the size of my fucking glasses, a little bit thicker, and that's about it. Like, why wouldn't I want that small, lightweight, high-resolution display on my face? I mean, even the G2, it makes the G2 look like a freaking, like a Mack truck. But the Pimax is just so big and bulky and ridiculously it's just, I mean, I know it's a great headset. But again, like, I want to be comfortable. I want it to be light. And the G2 is super comfortable. My old Oculus Rift S was super comfortable. And in order to get the Quest 3 to be comfortable, because it's notorious for being uncomfortable, is to buy a new head strap, and you gotta get a new router if you want it to perform its best. And then you gotta buy, like, another battery if you want to extend the play and not be hooked up all the time. It's like, you got to spend another $200 on it, and by that time it's like an $800 headset, a $700-800 headset. Like, then at that point you might as well get the Pimax Crystal Light. But yeah, I mean, for $1,000 you got a custom fitted big screen Beyond. I think that's the best way to go, at least for me. This is all subjective, of course, but for me, I think that's the route I would take if somebody put a gun to my head. You would need, there's a new audio strap that came out for it, and I heard it's got really good speakers, and they're off the ear, which I appreciate, because I don't like headphones that I'd have to wear, which will make me even more hot when I'm flying in VR, because that's the biggest problem I have with the G2, I think, is that it gets a little warm, and on a warm day, you're sweating in this thing. Like, I've literally had sweat beads dripping down from inside my headset, and it is very uncomfortable, and you have to take it off and wipe it all down, and you'll just start sweating again. So it is warm, and I think the big screen Beyond will mitigate a lot of that. Also, oh, why am I see, I wanted to gain some altitude, so I put my manifold pressure all the way up to 50 to gain some, and I didn't even gain that much. I'm only at 2,500 feet right now. I'm really low, but I kept it there because I'm an idiot. I'm wasting all that fuel. All right. Anyway, yeah. So the big screen beyond, even though it's pricier than the Quest or the Pimax, I think that's what I would get. I think I would take the huge amount of comfort over the slight amount of resolution that the Pimax would give me. That said, that's only if somebody put a gun in my head. And who knows what other headsets are around the corner on the horizon. There will always be something better, and in a couple of months, whatever you think your top of the line headset is, it will be dethroned very shortly thereafter. Like, I think that's one of the biggest problems with flight simmers. They're never happy. They can't be satisfied with something that's clearly a good performer. And I don't recommend anybody buying a G2 right now. No. Like, if you want a good mid-range, yeah, the Quest 3 is probably the best idea for most people. It's the best way to go for most people. Got a little extra money to spend, I would go for the Beyond, because again, like, you do have to buy a few other things to get that optimal Quest 3 experience. The big screen, you might have to buy a new audio strap, or you could use, I have a pair of Bluetooth earbuds that work really well, and I actually was playing games with it last week on my laptop, and the sound quality was fantastic. And it has a mic, and they're just little earbuds you pop in your ear, and they last for about 2.5 hours, and they sound great, and they have a microphone, like Samsung Galaxy Buds 2. This is what I was using. Bluetooth earbuds. I use them for my phone. That's what I bought them for. But they work with PC as well, and they work great with the PC. So if I had the big screen beyond, I think I would just throw those earbuds in, and away we go. I got everything I need. Don't need to buy the audio strap if I don't need it, or if I don't want it. And I can just have the lightest headset, the lightest, smallest form factor headset that doesn't sacrifice on resolution. The field of view is just about the same as the G2, so I won't be missing anything as far as field of view. Yeah, I mean, I'd just be gaining lightweight, better lenses, better res, and losing a lot of plastic that's sitting on my face. Yeah, it's okay. These guys get all weird when you get too close to the sea level. I might have to refuel here. Let's gain a little bit of altitude, and let's see if we can do an air refueling with P-51. I've never even tried the air refueling option for the air shows us. See, like, woke up my mouse, and I get that little pause in the sim. Anyway, let's see if we can do a refueling here. No aircraft data found. I don't have any airshow tankers, so okay. I don't think I can do it. Maybe.
On your left. Once cleared.
Oh, there it is. rookie. I've never done this before. And I don't know where I'm supposed to pretend that I have a nozzle.
Clear pre-contact.
I think it's just right up on top, like, whoa, let's slow down a little bit. How fast am I supposed to be going for this? You're going so much faster than me, dude.
Clear pre-contact.
Alright, there we go. Let me throw down some flaps. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. This is cool though. Where is the contact point though? Is it on the nose? Is it on my propellers? Because I am flying a prop plane. Maybe I should look at the
Clear contact.
Oh. Alright. I was going pretty fast.
Clear contact.
Alright. I don't know how to do this. I don't even know if it's possible on the B-51, but I just figured I've never tried it before. Let's see. Alright, let's try the nose on my propellers and see if that
Clear
works.
contact.
Come on.
Clear contact.
Clear contact. I don't know what that means, but... Am I clear to make contact? It's not easy.
Clear contact.
Come on. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I think I'm going to need to try doing this on a jet. But in the meanwhile, let's just refill my tanks here. We'll go.
Clear pre-contact.
I'm not going to be able to do it. Is my tanker gone? No, there he
Clear
is.
joint. Indicated airspeed is 200.
200, huh?
Clear pre-contact.
So I guess you call in the tanker and he just sticks around. You don't have to fly with him, but...
Clear pre-contact. Clear contact.
Yeah, I can't. Not, especially up, because I was going way too fast. I was going like 240, and he's flying at 200, and I don't have that kind of skill. I'm not that good. But we'll have enough gas to make it to LA since I just refueled anyway.
Clear joint. Indicated airspeed is 200.
Yeah, okay, but we're not doing that anymore, so can I just turn him off? Or maybe if I just get far enough away, he'll... Oh, you can set the tanker airspeed. So where would... What does that mean? Where would my fuel have to be? Scroll. Or what's R? Where'd my mouse go? Oh, there it is. Alright. You know what? Not gonna worry about it. Oh, there he is again. I think if you miss him, he just respawns and they try again. How do you turn him off? Do you have to refuel to turn him off?
Clear pre-contact.
Oh, look at that. That's... Okay, so there's that. But I still don't understand. Oh, okay. So that's like right on top of me. Maybe I'll try it again. Alright, let's get him to go at around 220. Or 250. Okay. 250 is a lot easier for me to be stable at
Clear
than
joint.
200.
Indicated airspeed is 250.
There it is. Alright, we'll try it again. Let me get on the flaps a little, slow down. Alright, so according to the little thing, I gotta put it basically on my head where that the boom is gonna come down. So let's try that. Alright, so I'm going
Clear joint. Indicated airspeed is 250.
250 and we're going around 270. Wait, is that knots or is that miles per hour? Because I'm flying miles per hour. And he might be flying at knots. Okay. Yeah, it's 250 knots. Alright, cool. So I gotta speed the fuck up. And let me actually turn
Clear
that
joint.
down.
Indicated airspeed is 250.
Yeah, let's get him back down to about 200 and then we'll see.
Clear joint. Indicated airspeed is 210. Clear pre-contact. Clear contact. 40, 30. Stabilize.
Almost. At least I got that countdown going. So there's that. But according to that little, the app, it looks
Clear
like I gotta
contact.
put it like right on my head.
40, 30. Clear contact. Stabilize.
Oh, it extended. I don't think I can be stable enough. I don't think I have...
Clear contact.
I can, yeah, fly straight enough for long enough that...
Clear contact. 50, 40, 30. Stabilize. Contact disconnect.
Oh,
Return
darn.
pre-contact.
Alright, so I hit it for a second.
Clear contact. 50, 60,
I don't know why I keep trying to do this.
50, 40, 30. Stabilize.
Fuck you. Alright, I'm done. I can't do it. Not in this plane anyway. Or without a plane without autopilot or something. Like, I just can't.
Clear pre-contact.
Alright, there we go. I think I turned it off now. Because every time I see it, I'm going to want to try to attempt it. And I think this is going to be really difficult for me to actually do it. In this plane anyway, so. Alright, well, we have fuel anyway, so we'll make it to, we'll head to LA and fly around there for a little bit. And then I'll probably land it somewhere around Santa Barbara or Burbank, maybe. Do a little low flying in the valley here. In other news, I have had issues with the map enhancement using the newest Bing Maps or even Google Maps. It just takes away all my photogrammetry for some reason. Now, so I haven't been using it. I've just been using the default photogrammetry and default Bing Maps, and it's fine. But yeah, I've always, every single time I've tried the map enhancement, the very first time I tried it, it completely screwed up the sim for me. I don't know what I was doing wrong. It was probably me or something, and then I was getting like virus alerts and malware alerts from it. So I uninstalled it, and then a few months, about a year later, tried it again, and it was working well for a little while, and now for some reason, it disables all photogrammetry. So that's weird. Like in the cities anyway, especially in the cities, like the photogrammetry is garbage. Or it's just non-existent, rather. It's not even there. It's just the sim generated buildings and such. So hate that. So now I just don't use it anymore, and I don't use any auto FPS either. Everything, I just set a standard, and I really don't have any problems with my level of detail. And I don't usually, and even if I am flying at like 15,000 feet or anything, you know, like, I don't, like, my LOD is set to like 120 or something, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I don't feel like I'm getting much more detail out of if I set it to 150 or 200. Like, not that much more. Not that high up. And since I fly helicopters a lot and these, you know, warbirds, I'm not, you know, too bothered by, you know, altitude. You know, like, you'll very rarely see me flying above 20,000 feet. Like, I'm not, or even 10,000 feet. Like, I usually live at around 6,000 is where I'm usually flying. If I'm flying a helicopter, about $1,000. So yeah, everything runs smoothly without all that stuff. So I find that I get more stutters with auto FPS because when I do change altitude and when it's adjusting for the LOD, you get that stutter. And I don't get the stutter. I don't get that stutter if I'm not changing my LOD. So I just keep it reasonable, a reasonably high LOD, like 120, 130. I don't usually go above that. And yeah, I don't get any stutters. So, or at least, not any stutters due to climbing or descending, you know. And yeah, I have enough detail. Like, I can make things out down there. And how high are we? We're at 2,000 feet right now. 2,300 something. Yeah, 2,300 feet. Just flying at cloud level, basically. What else is happening in the news outside of politics? We're going to try to keep this content politic free. But get out there and vote. That's all I'm going to say. Get out there and vote. For whoever tickles your pickle, but it is important. That being said, what else is happening? I saw Beetlejuice last night. It was entertaining. It wasn't as good as the first one. I think they could have used a little bit more time in the writer's room for sure. Some decent jokes, some clear misses, like that whole Italian part, just unnecessary and not funny. It wasn't like the adding the whole bit in Italian. And if you haven't seen it, sorry for the spoiler, but there's a scene where everybody's speaking Italian and it really doesn't add anything to the jokes or whatever, but they tried. I guess it's, you gotta try, right? Yeah, so not awesome. Kind of disappointed in it, honestly, because I am a big fan of not a big fan. I'm a fan of Beetlejuice. I'm a fan of Michael Keaton. Not a huge fan of Tim Burton, but I have definitely enjoyed his movies in the past. Edward Scissorhands, the first Beetlejuice, of course, was great. Batman. Who knew somebody who's never read a comic book in their life could make a fairly decent and entertaining Batman movie? Or two of them even. But he did take quite a bit of license with it, which is fine. I guess that's what artists do. But yeah, Beetlejuice, meh. I'd wait for it to come out for free on streaming before recommending anyone watch it. I did see Longlegs as well. Fairly good horror thriller. Not a lot of like jump scares or anything, but there were which I can appreciate because I don't think a horror movie should rely too much on jump scares and just truly terrify you. But like I wasn't truly terrified by anything, but I was a little disturbed by some of the um, situations. So I'll give that movie a 7.5, 7, but anywhere between a 7 and 7.5. Beetlejuice, probably give that like a 6.5. But yeah, it's that's LAX over there, where everybody's hanging out. Because this is another thing I never understood about these Sims and the players on them is why does everybody, well, not everybody, of course, but a good amount of people flying never leave the vicinity of the airport. And they just fly around the airport and do stupid shit like dive bomb it and then crash. But there's like, they made a whole entire sim with a whole entire planet, and these people have never left, 10 miles out of the airport. Like, what are you doing? Why? Like, nobody's impressed that you could buzz a fucking tower. Like, and after the 500th time of crashing, maybe figure out how to actually fly your plane and go somewhere. Like, these things are meant to do. They're meant to travel in. And these guys don't do anything but, fly around the same airports over and over again, see how low they can go, and then end up crashing, and then slewing up to, and like, see what's 748, what are you doing? Headed straight into the water. And we're not even heading to LAX, so screw that noise. Let's go, I think that's Century City over there. Yeah, let's stay clear of LAX for now. There's too many people over there, and then it'll get all laggy. I don't even think I need my Wingman anymore. I'm getting tired of them. I end up watching them more than I'm looking at anything else. There we go. Later, guys. Thanks for the escort. Let's fly by Nakatomi Tower in Nakatomi Plaza and see if we can't catch what's his name jumping off the building or dropping from the building. He didn't jump, that's for sure. Hans Gruber. Ooh, yeah, and a little stuttery now. A little bit. It's probably just loading in all this garbage, but yeah, I also find, like, if you spend a minute or two in a stuttery airport or a city that stutters a little bit, you just gotta let the sim sort of load up everything it needs to load up and cache everything, and then you're just generally smoothed it out within like a minute, not even. But yeah, the only time I really get stuttering is, in the city, as always. But if I spend any, a couple of minutes in the city, it does definitely get a lot better. So a lot of that stuttering has got to have to do with loading the assets in completely, all the photogrammetry and all that. Nothing that nobody already doesn't know. Like, auto FPS does not help here at all. Like, it actually does nothing for me in the cities. I mean, unless you turn your LODs way down when you're flying low, but that's when you want high LOD. You don't want a low LOD when you're flying low. You want a high one. You want to see everything. Dodgers won. Playing the Mets today. I think is game one, right? Was the game even... It may have already started. Go Mets. Hate the Dodgers. I respect the Dodgers a hell of a lot, but I am a Yankee fan, and I would much rather play the Mets than play the Dodgers in the World Series if we all make it that far. Yanks are playing the Guardians. I think tomorrow is game one. That'll be awesome. Hopefully we get off to a good start. We can just knock them out as fast as possible. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of DLSS wobbliness in the buildings here and there when I get super close, but other than that, I'm getting good performance over LA. I also have the Samsung 3D Modern Cities Volume 1 and 2 add-ons, which definitely add some love to some cities that had ugly photogrammetry. Where is Dodger Stadium? It's still a buzz on Dodger Stadium here. Are they playing at home today, or are they playing the Mets at Shea? See, if I had a helicopter, that would have been cooler. Also, if I wasn't flying past it at almost 400 miles an hour, probably would have helped. Alright, let's bring her in for a landing because I have an Assetto Corsa race I want to do. And, you know, this, the sim, Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's so easy to just put on the headset, go flying, and then 3 hours has passed, and you've flown to Belgium. But, yeah. It's easy. It's a time sucker for sure, especially if there's something that's going on and you can't figure it out and you're just troubleshooting. There's the Griffith Observatory and the Hollywood sign. Yeah, man, like, quality and all this stuff is great right now. Oh yeah, the Modern Cities add-on fixes the Hollywood sign so it's not all, doesn't look like ass. And the antenna behind it, that whole thing isn't, they showed some love because it looked like complete and utter garbage. Alright, and there's Burbank, Bob Hope International. We can land there. Let's go in on I don't know which runway that would be, but we're going in. I got a little stutter now, but that's fine. Nothing crazy. Yeah, let's go on our parallel runway that we're on right now. I'm not going to get clearance or anything because I have actually turned off at ATC. If you haven't figured that out by now, I haven't gotten any ATC messages or anything. It's just I own the skies. All right, maybe we should slow down. Maybe lose a little bit of altitude here. Where are we? Around almost 3,000 feet. Yeah, we are way too high. Do a hard brake turn here and get rid of some of the speed. Couple little stutters right there, but not too bad at all. Alright, we're gonna have to trim way up here because I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in way too high. Yeah, I'm coming in way too high, there's no way. Alright, what's that was not a pretty approach at all. Let's just circle around. Go around. Alright, we are at a good speed though now, and we are going to be at a good altitude in a minute. Let's try for, what is that, runway 15? 19? 15? Whatever that says. I think it says 15. Alright, let's try that. Yeah, it's probably runway 15. Although, oh yeah, I set my trim real high because I thought I was going to land, and now I'm just fighting the altitude it wants to gain. Alright, 2,000 feet. Alright, we can do this. This will be easier. My center line is... I'm way off center, but I always am. That's nothing new. Gears down, flaps are down, and I am giving it a bunch of power so we don't slow down that much. But here we go. My angle of attack is all extreme, but I'm just going to give it a good flare at the before touchdown. Cut power a little bit. Oh boy. Alright, well, any landing we walk away from, right? Alrighty guys, thanks for watching, if anybody was watching. Thought I saw a couple of people viewing, but nobody really sticking around. I don't blame them. This game's kind of boring to watch after a while. I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to cross there, but again, what do I know? I'm not a pilot. I'm not a real pilot. Alrighty, peace.